It all started in 1965 when members of the Long Beach Yacht Club created a new regatta. And now, 53 years later, it has become known as the grandfather of all match race events. Hi, I'm Tucker Thompson, and welcome to the Congressional Cup, where 12 of the top match racing teams in the world are here to see if they've got what it takes to top the fleet and earn the right to wear the famed Crimson Blazer. We begin with David Storrs. His dream to make the Congressional Cup, and he finally has this year, at what I believe is a record 72 years of age for the Congressional Cup. And he's facing New Zealand's Chris Steele, a tour card holder with a wealth of experience. Here we are in the dial-up, Storrs to the right, and Steele dropping his spinnaker and luffing up from the left. Steele, having tacked on to starboard, now has rights in the leeward position. Storr, however, keeping him pinned, and the dial-up continues. Storr's bow swings to leeward onto port. So does Chris Steele. Now he's the windward boat, and both boats have launched a kite. We've got 1:15 to get back below the line and up to the gun. Back at the line, a luff from Steele forces Storr's bow up. He's close to being over early with 2 seconds. One. Now there's the gun, looking for the flag on the committee boat end. I think Storr's is all clear, and he starts just ahead of Steele, but he'll have a tack to do.
I'm David Storrs from Beach Yacht Club in Southport, Connecticut. I started sailing match racing about 6 years ago after being out of sailing for 40 years. I was hoping to get into the Butler Cup one day, then I was hoping to get into the Ficker Cup one day, and then it was time, dream of dreams, to get into the Congressional Cup. I'm only 72, so I've got an advantage over some of the competitors who are so young and don't have a lot of experience. There's a blue boat and a yellow boat, and either one can win. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm looking for some good numbers.
Storrs split all the way to the right-hand side, leaving Steele all the way to the left. It's a big gamble for both teams. And remember that altercation at the start? Well, that resulted in a yellow flag penalty, so even if Storrs gets ahead, he has his work cut out for him. We'll leave those two to fight it out upwind and head back to the starting line for what is possibly the most hotly contested rivalry in the match racing world. Taylor Canfield, world ranked #1 against Ian Williams, the 6-time world champion. Williams got ahead, no dial-up, and now he's led just outside the Belmont Pier, using it as a pick. Meanwhile, Canfield behind has kept his spinnaker up and has only just dropped it. He'll settle into windward. 3 minutes to go. Back to the line with the clock ticking down. Williams takes the leeward position, luffs Canfield up, and we're set up for a split tack start. Canfield just ghosts over the bow of the committee boat. He'll head to the right, leaving Williams to the left. Back in our first match, heading downwind, and David Storrs is not just ahead of Chris Steele. He's got about a football field of distance between his opponent. Now that he's going to need it, because in these light airs, he's got to shed a penalty before the finish, and they're heading to the leeward mark. Leeward gauge, Storrs heads to the left, and that'll leave Steele, still downwind with the spinnaker up, to split to the right. Back in Canfield, Williams' match, and it is dead even, bow to bow. Williams on port will have to duck. Canfield takes the early advantage. At the mark, it is Canfield with a gain. And the delta now is about 5 boat lengths over Williams. And back in match one, Chris Steele still trails David Storrs, who leads to the finish, but he still has that penalty to shed. Storrs' bow is now on the finish line. The spinnaker is down. Remember, he has to shed that penalty in order to still win the race. Bows up into the eye of the breeze. Now, returning to a downwind course. There's the penalty flag, umpire holding it up, and it's down. The penalty is free, and so is Storrs. Bow down, crossing the line in his first Congressional Cup. He starts with a win.
very happy. Thank you.
And Taylor Canfield takes first blood over Ian Williams. We begin the next flight with the current match racing world champion, Phil Robertson from New Zealand. And he's up against Long Beach Yacht Club's own Scotty Dixon. And a big right-hand shift has Robertson across as they reach along the Belmont Pier. Having spun around, the boats are back at the pier again. Minute 15 to the start as Dixon leads Robertson. The boats leave the pier. Robertson leads back towards the line. Less than a minute to go, and Dixon gives chase. Very close. Possible flag. Yes, a flag from Robertson's boat. He's to leeward. Yellow flag. Dixon has a penalty. There's the gun. Robertson wins the start. Top mark. Robertson gets a very thin lay line, but not before bouncing Scotty, who had to do 2 tacks to make it. Dixon, however, still in this match, even though he has that penalty to shed. He's only a length behind. Of course, the advantage will shift to Scotty downwind. That length is now half a length and counting. Scotty is catching up. First jibe is Robertson. Dixon will respond. The delta still only a few feet, and now Dixon will come out on a hot angle, try to roll. Leeward gates, and it's a split. Robertson still leads, but only just. He'll head to the left upwind, leaving Dixon to take the right. Halfway up the beat, Robertson still ahead, but Dixon is close enough to attack. Scotty Dixon is not rolling over. He is not going away against the current world champion. Robertson leads him downwind. The delta still the same after 3 legs, and Dixon still with that penalty to shed. At the finish, however, the race is Robertson's, and just behind him, Eric Monin and Nikolai Seisted are approaching the line to start. Back in flight 3. This time we're going to revisit David Storrs again. Remember, he won his first match, but this time a tall order. He's up against world champion Phil Robertson. Off the pier, which is often used as a pick in the pre-start, it is Storrs setting up to leeward. Just waiting for Robertson to come on down and play. The final countdown to the start. Storrs led up to the line. Phil Robertson just tacked him on to starboard, and he'll set up on his hip. 5 seconds to go. Robertson is early. He's going to go bow down. Storrs is putting the bow up. There's the gun, all clear. It's Storrs who makes the first move, squeezing Robertson off for a split. Well, he may have forced Robertson out to the right. Robertson will take it, turning that into an early lead from the right-hand side as Storrs ducks. After that, Robertson takes over a 2-boat length lead to Storrs. How things change in just a few lengths. Robertson sails into a hole. Storrs jibes and sails right around it. Well, Storrs will take that to the bank and cash it. He heads back upwind over the current world champion by about 8 lengths. Never say never. That's always the name of the game in match racing, particularly when the breeze gets this light and fluky, and Phil Robertson is back in the match, tacking just on top of Storrs. Into the top mark, and Storrs is right there, folks. He's close enough to attack. This will be the final run. And Robertson not out of the woods yet. He does have the lead, but Storrs is so close. It's all going to come down to this final sprint. Early set for Storrs. A jibe later, a sharp luff from Robertson, but Storrs is not asleep at the wheel. He responds with a luff as well, keeping clear. Now both bows go down. Robertson is actually having to struggle hard to keep Storrs away. Robertson goes back for more. This time Storrs hasn't responded yet. Tough to tell the angle as a windward boat. Does he have an overlap enough to get a piece of Storrs? Maybe a bit of contact? I don't see a flag yet, but Storrs is pulling ahead. 2 jives later, and Storrs is behind, but he's going for room inside at the committee boat. Is he going to get it? Well, their overlap. Robertson is saying no. We're likely to see some penalty flags here. Robertson's bow is crossing the line. He has won the race. Are there any penalties, though? Standing by, umpire, yellow flag. Storrs gets the penalty, and Robertson takes the race. The breeze is up for our final match of the day, and this one is for national pride of Australia. We began with our oldest competitor this morning. We end with our youngest, Harry Price from Australia. He's up against countryman Sam Gilmore. A couple minutes later, and we're headed back to the line. Final approach. It is Sam Gilmore pushing Harry Price, and he's going in for the hook pin lay line. And there's the gun. Split tack start. Gilmore will take the left, Price to the right. Price from the right, first cross. Gilmore's got it from the left on port by a length. Into the top mark, and the race is Gilmore's to lose by about 2 boat lengths over Price.
Harry Price from the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia in Sydney, and first Congressional Cup. First time going to be against the big guys of the match racing industry, and yeah, just really looking forward to show what we have and hopefully get a couple wins up our sleeve. Just been doing all youth events around Australia, around the world. Just managed to get here and really happy to be here.
Good spinnaker drop at the bottom mark, and Gilmore back upwind to the left, increasing his lead. So Gilmore crosses the line, and though Price put up a good fight, the battle for Aussie pride goes to Sam Gilmore. Well, that wraps up day number 1 of the Congressional Cup, and there's still plenty more sailing to come. We have a double round robin, then we move into the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and ultimately the finals, which will be determined this Sunday afternoon. So stay with us. More to come from the Long Beach Yacht Club. I'm Tucker Thompson. Thanks for joining us.